We're going to talk to Mark Verge. He's the author of Access to the Boys Club. He's got a new radio show on AM 830 here in Los Angeles. Mark, welcome to the Young Turks.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No, we appreciate you coming on, man. So one of the themes of your show and book is why do men cheat?
Right.
So the usual answer is because they can.
Right, they can get away with it.
Right. Now, what are your thoughts on it?
You know, I just think it's a combination of a partnership gone wrong. And I think there's so many times people want to just blame the guy without understanding that guys get pushed into cheating. And I know women hate when I say it and catch a lot of flack, but I think it's such a partnership. And I'm hoping women can understand that at times they're pushing men to cheat. I mean, it's a tough enough world we're in. When I come home, I'm so blessed because when I come home, my wife's happy to see me. And I try to remind women, it's like we're getting beat up all day. When we get home, that's a safe place. And if you beat us up there, unfortunately, there's people or women who won't beat us up.
I like what Mark is saying.
So Mark, you and Dr. Laura, you guys hang out? You guys
Dr. Laura,
have coffee?
no, not really. I have a sidekick called the Love Band, and what we try to preach to women is just the truth, how women sometimes beat up their men, and instead of, we have a different part of the book called Put Some Sugar on It. Well, when you come home, instead of saying, take out the trash, and the guy walks through the door and you're getting vented on because she's the first person who she can vent on, it's like, hey, can you help me out here and take out the trash?
So you're saying that there are justifications to cheating on women.
Never.
Never justification.
No.
Well, you're making excuses for men in this case. You're saying, they come home and the wives aren't pleasant, so yeah, they look for a little pussy on the side to feel a little better about it.
Not at all. I don't think there's an excuse to cheat. I just think women want to understand why the men cheat. I'm not saying there's an excuse. I think Tiger Woods is completely off, but there's a reason he cheated. And
he went off.
She better understand who she was going out with. She was going out with Tiger Woods. She wasn't going out with the caddy. She was going out with the most competitive, ambitious guy we have as an athlete. And if you don't... I love it. I'm coming on the show every night. But she's got to understand, if you... men aren't smart. I mean, my original title of the book was The Dog Pound, and it just... Men are dogs, and if you don't understand that, then you don't understand what men are all about. We're in heat every day of the year.
No, I
every
understand
single
that.
day.
That's probably the one thing I understand most.
Good. And I don't mean to be a jerk, and I don't justify it. And my whole hope is to put warning signs up to men saying it's the most worthless thing you can do.
Right.
Mark, man, that had to be the line of the week. You ain't dating a caddy. You're dating Tiger Woods, bitch.
Well, I'm watching all these shows, and they're interviewing women why Tiger Woods cheated. It's like, why would you talk to a woman why a man cheats? Is that crazy? Oh, and they're saying, the women are saying, oh, she was so good looking. It's like, what are you talking about? You do not know how men. Bill Clinton cheated on his wife with Monica Lewinsky.
Right.
I mean, come on. It's like they want to come up with these reasons just to justify how their husband's not going to cheat. Believe me, your husband's looking too.
Mark, there are a lot of cases where men cheat and the wife has absolutely nothing to do with it. We've talked about cheating a lot on the show before, and we've talked about how in a lot of cases men will cheat simply because they can.
Right.
Let's say he's attractive because of the type of business he's in and the type of work he does. He'll have women throwing themselves at him. And even though he is happy at home, even though his wife is perfect, he will cheat just because he can. Would you say that's true or not?
Completely.
So what can the men do?
Take a step back and realize it's the most ridiculous, overrated thing you could ever do to ruin your life.
Yeah, interesting. What if she's really hot, though?
Oh, well, then you got to do it. No. I mean, of course. I think I always watch Fatal Attraction. I love that scene where he's telling his wife why he did it, and he just can't explain why he did it, and you lose everything. I mean, Warren Buffett said it best. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. And I think we just don't have the warning signs everywhere else. I mean, you drink too much, you get pulled over, DUI, you're done. Every other thing, you do drugs, whatever, there's all sorts of warning signs. But, guys, we're not the smartest group. But I think if we had warning signs and how the veins, what you do, the veins that go out to everyone when you cheat, it's like walking off a mountain. It's one step, but you ruin your life.
I didn't know Warren was a player.
Warren's a big-time player. I mean, geez, we go out all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's talking about going off in any given 5 minutes. That's fascinating. I didn't know that the Oracle of Omaha rolled that way.
Got to roll with Warren. Good.
All right, we're talking to Mark Verge. He's got a new radio show in L.A. at AM 830. It's every Sunday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. with the Love Man, which is a curious name. And his book is Access to the Boys Club.
Yeah, accesstotheboysclub.com, great website. No, the Love Man's ridiculous. I've never met any guy who gets more women than the Love Man.
Really?
It's unreal.
That's got to be hype.
Has the Love Man been in a nice, long, fulfilling relationship, or
no?
No.
So
he's not really the Love Man. He's a sex man.
At 22 years old, he got divorced from his wife and 2 kids, and it's just, he says, his biggest regret. And that's why I wrote the book, is talking to men. 80% of men regret cheating. The other 20% are real happy they did, but 80% regret it. And that's where I'm talking to guys who are shocked that their ex-wife is going out with a new guy and holding their kids. And it's like they're so surprised by this, that women go on and meet other men, and I don't think they've ever even thought of this.
That's interesting. So wait, you said the Love Man is not interested in relationships or whatever, but that he regrets getting divorced. How does that?
It affected his kid. He said his kids were ruined by it. He left a kid who was 5 years old, a boy, and a daughter who was 3, and everyone kept telling him, oh, it'll be better, it'll be better. And I think that's the biggest crock we bought into, is that divorce is better for the kids.
That's obviously a convenient excuse for a lot of people, and sometimes you just got to get divorced, and there's no way around it, even if it isn't good for the kids. Sometimes, and so I don't want to get too judgmental on people's lives. But Mark, I do want to ask you finally. So at the end, since men are such dogs, and we do have such trouble resisting, and you got to coach the wives how to put sugar on it, and you got to coach the men to look out for the warning signs, etc. Should we even get married?
Definitely, it's the best thing ever. No doubt about it. It's the greatest thing. Having kids is the best thing I've ever done. I've had success in all sorts of different businesses, and there's nothing better than being married, and makes your life so much easier. But you need to vet the person and go through people spend more time planning their wedding than they do the next 25 years of their life. It's one day. A wedding is one day. I really think people should, wait, take time, as much time as they want, because no matter what women think, guys do not want to be up at that altar or wherever people get married. That is not our biggest day of our life. And I think women convince men that it's going to be. And then they plan it and plan it and plan it, and the guy's sitting there going, I don't believe I'm here. And I think you just have to take your time, and women don't want to hear it, and I know they hate it, but you need to vet this guy. They're surprised guys are cheating. Well, if he cheated on you before, trust me, you get married, he's going to cheat on you again. And I'm just hoping women really learn to vet the guy instead of rushing for that one day.
Mark, I have one final question for you. So what about women that cheat on their husbands? Would you be quick to look at the husbands and say, hey, you're not doing enough to satisfy your woman?
Oh.
I'm amazed, because I blame the guy every time in cheating, because I think at the end of the day, and people hate and women hate when I say it, I'm sorry, women can throw themselves at any man, but at the end of the day, it's up to the guy to cheat. Now, if a woman cheats, the guys I've talked to, a lot of them have stepped out or done things that are wrong. I mean, hopefully, I get guys yelling me, oh, it was her fault, she cheated. It's like, well, at one point, yeah, people do cheat. I've had partners in business who've ripped me off that I couldn't believe it. So definitely, I don't understand why it happens, but it happens all the time with women cheating on men. I think that's the lack of communication. And hopefully that's what we're going to try to work on, is communication.
Right. So women are dirty.
Oh, dirty. They love cheating. You guys are great.
This is Sparta!
I love your show. This is great, you guys.
All right. Mark Verge, everybody check out the book, Access to the Boys Club, which you can find at accesstotheboysclub.com, and the new show at 8:30 a.m. in L.A., Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Thanks for joining us, Mark.
Anytime, you guys. Take care now.
All right.